Guys, today I'm going to bring you the best of both worlds with my friends at Public Rec, where comfort meets style. I was tired of sacrificing my comfort to try to look good, so I went and got some new gear from Public Rec. Now I no longer have to choose. I can seriously wear my Public Rec pants anywhere. They're nice enough to wear out to dinner. I did wear them because they were so versatile while I was playing golf. I even wore them to church on Sunday. In fact, they're comfortable enough. My buddy Justin sleeps in his like pajamas. Public Rec has got all of your occasions covered. With a blend of performance materials, it's got a perfect combination of breathability and stretch while still keeping its form. And Public Rec gets better. You can try an array of products like shorts and hoodies to upgrade your wardrobe. Comfortable enough for the couch, but sharp enough for the city. For a limited time, my listeners can save 20% by using code Sonnen at checkout. I want you to head to publicrec.com today, or just click on the link below. Oh, and when they ask how you found them, tell them Chael sent you. What's on the line? That's it. For any big fighter, when you talk about big fights, or this is going to be a big fight, or what a big fight, any time you do that, if you in fact do know what you're talking about, I realize people in our sport they just say things all the time. But if you are accurate within that statement, then you're talking about stakes. They used to think if you bring in two guys that are undefeated, something's on the line. That's big. Somebody's O's gotta go. Every prick in marketing. Someone's O's gotta go. Why? What difference does it make? What if they're both debuting? What if it's O and O, but that's in both columns, including the win and draw? So, do you see where it just isn't a factual statement? For every big fight you've ever had, what you're talking about is stakes. What's on the line? And there'll be 11 fights per night. There's not 11 answers per card. So sometimes you get that answered once a month. And if you do, you had a pretty good year. But there are some fights that will stand out. And you go, hey, these boys are fighting for a lot right now. They're not just going out there to contest something under unified rules. When I look at Paddy the Baddy versus Michael Chandler, there is a lot on the line. I believe Paddy the Baddy is 2 fights away from fighting for world championships. I think you could skate the system after 1. When I say I believe he's 2 fights away, I am telling you that I believe with 2 wins, not only would he qualify for a world title, not only would the UFC look at him for a world title, I believe you all would demand. I believe that's how strong Paddy would be with 2 wins, and they got to be the right wins. But Michael Chandler and a guy like Michael Chandler, those are your 2 wins. With the right performance and the right amount of turmoil, which it appears that we found, I mean, I don't want you to miss what's going on at 155 pounds, okay? The big fight where you have it all is not Islam and Ilia. It can be. We can get there, but we're not. For example, if Ilia and Islam were going to fight, we can't just put them on any card that we've got booked for the rest of the year. We can't take them out to New York, not in main event them. So before you tell me that Islam and Ilia and what a great fight is, it's not even guaranteed to be a main event. You'd have to stick it in a very specific place at a very specific time just to main event it. It's not what you think it is. But 1 win by Ilia, and all of a sudden that's no longer true. So if you're just wondering what's going on at 55 and you just can't quite wrap your head around it, Paddy the Baddy is being reserved for Ilia Topuria. Now, we might not get there. Lots of things could happen, and we got to push those dates. But just in case you're wondering what's happening at 155, is it going to be Ilia versus Charles? Sure, maybe. Maybe. If somebody gets pressed for time, they've got to get it done. But if they can stall and kick this can until Miami, Ilia is being reserved for Paddy. Which, again, back to my original point, would be Paddy's 2 big wins. If he got the jump on Chandler, which drew him into Ilia, he got the jump on Ilia, Paddy's off fighting for the title. But the same thing would happen for Ilia if he got the jump on Paddy. It'd be such a big deal. Now, all of a sudden, you can make some money with Topuria versus Islam. But there's something about that fight right now, and it's not there. It's not. I know Ilia believes that it is, and I know he even thinks that he was told that it was. And I like Ilia. I haven't met him. I would like to meet Ilia. I'd like him to come on this program. Right, if you've got to contact Ilia, I'd like him to come on this program. But there are some times where a veteran who has just simply been here longer and seen things more often, where I could sit Ilia down and say, Ilia, you understand we're in the fight promotion, correct? Yeah, I get it. All right, now you get paid on participation. You are one of the rare guys. You understand promotion and what we're doing here better than most, correct? Yeah, Chael, I understand. All right, Ilia, now I'm going to ask you a question. It's multiple choice, but there's only A and B. What's a bigger fight? The former 45-pound champion against Islam. That just means I take his belt away, and then I make the fight. I've already decided I'm going to make the fight. I'm going to put the 45-pounder against Islam. I've already decided I'm going to do that. But from the world of promotion, what's better? If there's two belts on the screen, if it's champion versus champion, if double champ status is on the line, all these big, huge buzzwords we do, or none of them are true, but I do the same fight. I'm going to take the exact same fight, but I'm going to take all of my marketing ability away. Those are your two options. Because if you believe that you're fighting Islam next, and you believe that I believe you're fighting Islam next, and we both believe that together we've thought this from the beginning, which is why we're giving the belt back, why would have I accepted your belt? Why wouldn't I just hold the fight? And it's a very simple question, but it's a catastrophic answer. So, where Ilia is going to go is a wildly hot topic. I got to tell you, it is one of my favorite subjects in MMA right now. The only fight where I don't jump out of my seat, by the way, is against Islam. I'd watch it. I wouldn't know a bigger Ilia. I mean, it would have a lot of pieces there for me. It would. But Ilia versus Mr. Hand Sanitizer, a feud that's been going for 4 years. The whole reason I learned Ilia Topuria's name and record and where he's from, the whole thing that got him over with me, first time I ever talked about him right here on this channel, which you can go look with the other guy's name. This is the biggest channel. Whole reason I did was over the hand sanitizer incident. I mean, that's been brewing for a very long time. To act as though you're not going to rectify that when you're given an opportunity, that's something I couldn't wrap my head around. We're having that same conversation right now with George Masvidal. George Masvidal's coming back against who? There is nobody who's challenged him. There's nobody that called him out. There's nobody that wants to fight him. What do you get if you beat up George Masvidal? Like, what changes in your life? Well, none of those things are true if we're talking about against Leon. Leon versus George, again, for obvious reasons that date back half a decade. Those two have to fight. I don't need sold on that or told why. I know what personal beef means, right? But for some reason, that's not the direction we're going. We're led to believe that George is coming back. Well, if George is coming back, there's only one guy for him to fight. So I don't know if George is coming back, but I know he's not fighting Leon. So if I follow the laws of logic, then I guess I do know whether or not he's coming back. And I'm just bringing that for Ilia versus Charles. That's a freaking hot fight. Ilia versus Chandler. That's a hot fight with Chandler coming off a victory. That's where the importance to Ilia comes to this fight. You might hope that it's against Patty, but you'd sure as hell take it if it was against Chandler. And these are the stakes. I then look from Michael Chandler's point of view. This is a young man who's going on 39 years old. He has won 1 out of 5 fights in the last 4 years, and it was against somebody that's released from the company named Tony Ferguson. Good win. Just sharing for you. At 39, there's no room for error. And if I'm wrong on 39, he's 38. And if I'm wrong on that, he's going on 40. I mean, I'm right here in this pocket. I'm right. And I can just share for you, you can't come off of losses. You don't get better with time. And I think Chandler's fantastic. Michael Chandler might be my favorite fighter. I like watching him. I like watching the Hangman. But I'll just tell you, I still understand time comes and you pass the torch. And there's no room for error. And you got some wrong. You can only get so many wrong. I mean, even in baseball, 3 strikes and you're out.